welcome back to Making Finances Sexy. It's me, Rose Short, aka the Red Queen. Come down the rabbit hole with me. I'm a realtor here in the Phoenix Valley, as well as CEO of Kronika Luxury and a financial consultant. It is my mission to help you build multiple income streams, fire your boss, live your dream lifestyle, and break out of the 9-to-5 grind. And with me, of course, is the beautiful and talented Miss Jessica 𝐿𝐒.
What's up, everybody? I'm your rent-ready-owned realtor, Jessica 𝐿𝐒, and certified instructor with the company 101 Financial. It's my mission to help you transition from renting to homeownership, no matter your situation. I'm ready to be your personal finance coach and first-time home buyer specialist.
What?
Yes.
And today we want to talk about something that is important when you work from home, but also important if you're still working in an office space, and that is optimizing your workspace.
Woo! Optimize.
So
want like a good space that we can come to do work in.
Yes, and so often, especially when we work from home, it gets really, really easy to intermix work and personal. And then the next thing you know, you've got a lot of clutter going on and you're getting short-tempered. So we want to talk about how to optimize the space, particularly if you don't have an extra room or anything like that.
Yeah, for sure. Before I moved into this house and I had to create my home office in my bedroom, the space really wasn't there. So like something that Kalani and I did was we bought a shoe rack and we put it underneath the desk. So then we had like some shelving for organization and things like that, because that's one part to optimize your workspace, is making sure you have like shelves, drawers, things like that to organize everything that you need in your workspace.
Yeah, especially if you're prone to like having a short attention span. If there's something there to distract you, it makes it really, really hard to focus on whatever it is you need to be working on. So that is definitely one of the first things that we would recommend, is obviously declutter. Take away all distractions. That's not to say you can't have, beverages or, anything like that, but you don't want to have, games or your phone on really loud if you don't need your phone for what work you're doing and things like that, because that just ups the chances that you're going to be working on something, get super distracted. The next thing you know, an hour's gone by.
Exactly. And if like there's people out there like me, cluttered, messy areas make me really stressed out and causes some sort of anxiety. So clearing that up can really increase your productivity and efficiency. If you're not super cluttered, you can think a little clearer and your creative juices really get flowing when you're well organized and in a workspace that you're happy in.
Yeah, for sure. And it makes you more comfortable, right? Like, so for me, for the longest time, I've had my office downstairs, which has been fine for the most part, unless someone comes to the door and then I'm in a Zoom meeting or podcasting and the dogs go crazy, or my Facebook Lives as well. Makes it a little bit more difficult. Now, thankfully, I have a space where I can lock the door and keep everybody out. But prior to that, I just had to make do with what I had. So keeping it clean, keeping it organized, and doing my best to time what I was doing around our day-to-day life was really the best I could do. Now with the different space, it's minimalist, it's clean, it's organized. Like I said, I can close and lock the door. I have more room for a green screen if I want to put it up, which is fantastic. But it's also a little bit more comfortable. So I've got a better desk chair now that makes it a little bit easier to sit here for a while. And then I also have timers set, so I remind myself to get up and walk around and not get too distracted, just being on the computer all the time. And that's where, your lighting becomes a factor as well. Desk height, chair height, all that kind of stuff. You want to make sure that you're comfortable at your desk.
Yeah, so like your eyes should be level with your screen to reduce the neck strain and your eye fatigue. Make sure you're a good distance from the screens. I like to wear blue light blocker glasses when I'm working on the computers, especially if you plan to be on it for more than 5 hours, we got to protect our eyes and our bodies Your keyboard, you want that, of course, in front of you, so your arms are kind of at a 90-degree angle. And then your mouse, if it's not a trackpad and it's a normal mouse, you want it decently close, or you can wear out and do some damage to your wrists and things like that. We don't want that either.
Yeah, exactly. I would say there's a lot of ergonomically designed mice out there. I would be wary of using the same type of mouse all day long, though, especially if you're a gamer and you have a gaming mouse. Yes, a lot of them are ergonomic for, gaming, but not necessarily for everyday computer use. So it is beneficial to have 2 or 3 wireless mice that have different, I guess, finger pads, different ways they lay, just to keep your wrist from being in the same position all the time.
Yeah, eventually I would love to get like a desk, like a standing desk that adjusts because I love
Yeah,
those. So
same.
like you can raise it up and stand at your desk and then be in like a really good posture. You just want to think about setting up a environment at your workstation that supports your natural body posture, relaxing your shoulders, straighten your back, creating a workspace that works for you rather than against you, and your body will thank you for it.
Yeah, so often when everything's wrong, we find ourselves like hunching over, and then all of a sudden we're like, oh, wait. And then like our whole body hurts. I know I did that a lot with my old chair,
Yeah.
which is why I'm really happy to have a decent, like, actual desk chair now. The desk height is not ideal for me. I definitely have to like put my computer up on something, but that's fine. I can work around that. And then of course, like we talked about lighting before, but especially if we're doing content creation like we do, really bright light in the room, a good ring light, maybe even 2 ring lights to really get that lighting level that you desire is going to be helpful as well. Or if, you just have, like, your eyesight's starting to go, you really want good lighting in the room to counteract the computer screen, because so often we keep working, we get distracted, and then all of a sudden it's dark and the room's dark and we're just staring at the screen, and that's the only light in the room, and it's just so hard on your eyes. So make sure you got good lighting even throughout the day.
Yeah, I love good lighting, but I have caught myself where I don't have any lights on and then the sun sets and I'm just still working. And you look around and you're like, oh wow, it's dark in
Yep.
here. Sometimes you get a little stuck. And a big thing is adding your own personal touches. I love this because you want you want to enjoy going to your workspace every day. So why wouldn't you put things that you enjoy, whether that be plants in your office space or little knickknack on your desk or a photo of your dogs or family, just little things that you can look at that give you that sense of calm and remind you of something happy, especially if you're like in a stressful Zoom call or like trying to create content and the ideas aren't flowing right. Looking at things that you resonate with and enjoy can sometimes spark creative juices and get you thinking about things.
Yeah, especially if you don't work from home, right? Because it's super easy to have those personal touches at home. It's completely different if you're working in a cubicle or in an office somewhere else. So, keeping in mind that, maybe you don't want to share your entire personality with your coworkers. But one of my favorite things I had when I was in a corporate environment was I had a skull, I still have it, but a skull pen holder that I would keep on my desk because it was like the one thing that, was me in that office. It was just kind of my way of like sticking it to the corporate bosses and in my own way.
Yeah, I love that. I guess if you are in a corporate job, yeah, something small, even like that, or I like stress balls. Like whatever shape you can get like different shapes if you want
Oh
like a
yeah.
skull one, you could get a skull one, or if you're into I have a little red person or a cat, and you can squeeze them and look at them
Yep.
and whatever.
Yeah, I got a couple, like I got a football shaped one. I think I have a soccer shaped one as well. Like I don't really know where they came from. They just showed up, but they're great. I mean, I love them to death. But yeah, just little things like that. So, think back to the movies where it's like, it's the guy they're talking, they're like, oh, is that your family kind of thing? Like that's the reason they're there, right? It's just to remind them like of why they're working there, why they do what they do. So little touches are fantastic. And even if it's a personal laptop, a sticker on the laptop can be, something to personalize your space as well. One thing I would recommend that now that I have the separate spaces, I am definitely being cognizant of and doing is keeping your personal computer and your work computer separate if you have that luxury. It just makes it a whole lot easier to focus on work when you're not also mixing it with personal, because then you're not getting distracted by personal emails or anything like that. And then the same thing, especially if you work from home, when you're on your personal computer, you're spending more time with your family because you're not being distracted by work stuff. Another thing that you can do to make it a little bit more comfortable too is multiple monitors. So I used to absolutely just roll my eyes at people with multiple monitors because I was like, that's so unnecessary. And then I had a workstation that had 3 monitors, and I totally get it now. So don't be afraid to add monitors if that's what you need to, be really, really productive, because then oftentimes you can have, the Zoom meeting up on one, you can have your notes on another one, you can have your email on another one that might be distracting, but maybe you need to refer to your email. It just makes it a lot easier. Again, if you're working for somewhere else or if you're doing like VA type work, anything like that, it makes it way easier to stay organized if you can separate all of those and have the multiple screens.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. I have 2 screens here at home, but I have worked on 3 screens and it's just super beneficial. I used to think the same thing, like why would you ever want all of that? But it is super helpful. It makes your workflow a lot quicker, in my opinion. But yeah, then switching back and forth, different tabs on one screen, that
Yeah.
just slows you down. So I'm for it.
Nice. So yeah, that's kind of what we got, guys. Like I said, it's not really that in depth. It's not that, hard to do. It's just basic stuff.
Yeah, and it'll take some time, like for you to figure out what works for you, personally. Like you may need to move things around multiple times until you're fully confident and comfortable in your workspace, and that's totally okay. Don't get discouraged if your workflow isn't going well, because your things aren't in the right places the first time. Just keep adjusting and make it suitable to whatever you're trying to accomplish.
For sure. And, make little notes about what distracts you. So, maybe you think your desk is optimized, and then you discover that, a water bottle that you have, there's something on it that's distracting you. Or just, again, having your phone next to you distracts you because it's so easy to get on social media. Whatever it may be, make notes of that. And if you don't need your phone for whatever work you're doing, it's okay to separate your phone from your workspace.
Yep. Leave it in the other room if you have to.
Mm-hmm. So, or close it up in a drawer. Maybe just the act of seeing it is what it is. So put it in a drawer. That way, if you do have, kids in school or whatever that might be, teachers might need to get a hold of you, you can still have it and you can still be gotten a hold of, but the urge to check social media is not there as hard.
So optimize your workspace for you.
Yes. And that's really it, guys. Next week, we're going to talk about crafting an effective daily routine and what that looks like.